Games. Board games and my show is what I'm talking about. Here I go, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing, and I guess I'm going to recap the last 100 episodes that I have uploaded that are on YouTube. I'll be scrolling through and I'll hopefully be chatting a bit to you. Board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. It's time for Busy Beats and Board Game Bladder, 10 a.m.ish UK time. Today, I am chatting about. What am I chatting about? I'm doing a mega recap. This seems to be the tradition. Every 100 episodes, I do an extended thing. I like that. That's fun. And then the day after, I'm like, okay, how were the last 100 episodes? Let's take stock. I mean, recent highlights, I did a lot of streaming. I went out, I went to Hampstead Heath, I had a quick wander. Met someone, but yeah, the wandering was nice, walking around was good, and Hampstead Heath is a lovely place. I would like to go there more often. I'd like to cycle a wee bit more, like maybe try to cycle, I don't know, at least half an hour every day, like 15 minutes somewhere. Half an hour every day might be a bit much, but maybe not. It's like, anyway, recent highlights. I cycled, I enjoyed seeing places. Let's talk about brilliant things. Brilliant things. What's a little thing which is brilliant? I do want to acknowledge all my guests yesterday. They were all just fantastic. And everyone, I appreciated having them on. They all contributed, thoughts, insights, opinions, stories. Everyone was fantastic. And I think it's just brilliant. And I also want to just give a shout out, I guess, to generally streaming. Like, that is a brilliant thing. Being with people that I wouldn't actually get to see otherwise. Because even if you're in the same city, it might be a tricky thing to cycle like a couple of hours or go so far. But yeah, let's just talk about some of these streamings that I've done. So 600th episode, I started off, and that was 8 hours 16, trying to make it so that talking about environmental impact and having lots of different people on from Uganda, having just amazing people on, Joseph Kelly. It was a relatively slow thing. It was relatively gentle. Had, Bruce Vogue, that was fantastic. Amabel Holland finally getting to chat. And I think that the reason that I love these 100th episodes is mainly because, whoops, why did that go black? Let me share the screen again. The reason I enjoy these 100th episodes, and hello to me, just doing a mega recap. The reason that I enjoy this is because, I get to meet people and we get to chat and chill out. That was quite a chill one. Did I prefer the more chill one, or did I prefer today's? I think somewhere in the middle. I think that maybe 8 people might have been, like, I had 14 people. Maybe we could have had 12 or 11, it's hard to say. Of course, I did make a recap. That makes lots of sense. I said I need a mentor, and I still would love to have a mentor. I've not reached out and asked people. I've not taken that step. That's slightly shameful. That's something I need to do. I don't think decided I would tweak much. And I don't want to tweak much. I was trying to just keep it a bit shorter, which I think I've managed to do. Most of them have been less than an hour, and I hope that me like you tune into a lot of the morning things where I'm just rambling and then it just goes on for like 10 minutes. I hope that's enjoyable. I talked about Seize the Power. That's still going. I'm still excited by it, and we're still developing. Communicating our principles, it's such an important thing to do, not just doing the things, but telling the people why we're doing the things. Um, yeah, turning a passion into a business. Wow, that was fantastic. That was uh, just a great try. I almost basically forgot I did that. Like Sarah Krause, who I've never met before, and yeah, doing some creatures. I'll do some more live drawing maybe on the 2nd of August. I was talking about rolling rights, having some quick thoughts. Couple on Board Game Arena, that was really exciting. It still is exciting in real life versus online marketing. And then I did some couple on Board Game Arena, meeting Naomi Robinson. Yeah, an artist, an amazing person. I hoping that we get to chat again sometime soon, but it's just not happened because of childcare and all of those things. Did some more live drawing. Should I do more live drawing? Let me know what you would like. I would like to know. Jess Mederingham, I really enjoy these fortnightly conversations. And I think this is the kind of thing which I like the day before. I'd say, okay, what are you going to talk about? This is what I'm going to talk about. Water, liquid, so good. Drawing cats and colours, again, just needing to get more work done. And so that's what I spent my stream doing. Quick show about respect, reality, and what was this? And escapism. Oh yeah, this was when I was basically where is this? I don't recognize this. Oh, is this? I think I know. Yep, this is when I was off to a funeral and kind of actually bearing poaching in mind, yeah, what was going on and kind of facing reality. Obviously, sad times going to the funeral, but there was having this stream to kind of latch onto. That was nice. And the next day, I wore white as a sign of respect, because of the funeral. And I was talking about how well do we know people? Like, how well do I know you? How well do you know me? The truth is not as well as we would like. I went to Daicini. That was lovely. And you can see the quick look around. I think that, for me, these quick wanders have a lot of value. Let me put that onto double speed. That's the one thing I like about YouTube, that you can change the speed and it's like, yeah, look at all these models, look at all these things around it. And there were so many things at Daicini, and we talked about it yesterday, just being a fantastic expo with like people coming in. This was just before it opened, and so people were about to come in, and yeah, is it Tom or Mark? That's terrible. Yeah, I keep messing up their name. And yeah, the thing I love about this place is that it's free entry, and then the people who get inside the building are the same as the people outside the building. And it's just wonderful. Daicini was indeed a lovely place. I drew more creatures. Maybe I should use my streams as an excuse for drawing more. Like, is that something that you would like to see? Please do tell me. What's about drawing streams? I feel like maybe if it was like once a week or something, did some more radishes, meeting Rob Butler, the designer and also the person who prints lots of stuff for me, showing off all the artwork, talking about it. Innovation and evolution risks us. What was this about? Yeah, like if you try to innovate too much, if you evolve too much, like these things are great, but you do need to keep simplicity in mind. I talked about how to teach a game at a convention. This was when UK Games Expo was coming up. And talking about with games, sometimes theory can tell you more than the practical. I think that this is a really good point that I made, if I may say so, because sometimes people talk about playtesting, like playtesting is the only way to get data, but really, you could playtest something a million times, literally, and not come up with an edge case, even though that edge case might have like 5% probability. And more realistically, it's by spreadsheeting it, you can check certain things. There is no substitute for real life playtesting. I think that ideally you want everything to be playtested by real humans, get their opinions, and understand the emotions behind the game. But if the question is, will this game actually finish? Is this card's value, what is the worth more than the average value of another card, given that this is slightly more difficult to accomplish? You need to maths that out. You can't just be guessing. And Chloe Masheter, a lovely person, catching up with Jess. Yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing. Everyone is just kind of working it out as we go along. Remember, you're not just one thing. Remember, you're the combination of everything. I went to Herefordshire Board Gamers. That was a lovely convention. Sunday at the Herefordshire Board Gamers Mega May charity event. I loved being there. And yeah, streaming from when I was still in the Hereford, we need to be honest about our reasons for doing things, because it's easy to say, oh, I'm doing this because of X, Y, and Z, but we need to be honest with ourselves. I just loved this event. I can't get over that. Talking about what makes a good pitch before I went to pitch stuff that Wednesday, and apparently my pitches were spot on, so hooray. And I talked about a game about hunting cat shapes and colours that keeps getting trickier. Meeting Tom Truman, someone who's illustrated and designed their own game that I think they had to relaunch. Meeting Pearl Ho, that was lovely. I think that with these people, it would be great to have. I would like in future, if I'm able, to have guests on for two shows, because one would be the meeting, then one would be the okay. Let's actually now talk about something a bit more specific. I went over how to play a bunch of my games. This was again ahead of UK Games Expo, something that I wanted to show my volunteers. Talking about the Spiel des Jahres, they announced the winners, and it was really exciting to see that. Of course, we have had the winners announced, so it was Living Forest that I've not played, and Cascadia that everyone kind of predicted. Jess continues to be lovely. Top 10 things that could go wrong at UK Games Expo, including things like alien attacks taking over. Showing it, and on the Friday meeting sites, that was lovely. Playtest feedback, observations, that's not everything. And yeah, I got some games. That was super exciting. Meeting Kel. Are we ready for UK Games Expo? I love Alan being here, because Alan and Jess, alternating between Alan and Jess every Wednesday, it feels like these are the regular peeps, and we're kind of having them on, and checking in on each other. That's really nice. I feel like we've become friends at this point. A vlog for UK Games Expo. Johan came over. I do apologize for all the times I've called you by the wrong name, Johan. Johan is a lovely person, and Johan has been demonstrating games for me for years, and Johan and I drove together to UK Games Expo, and then on Friday I had a quick vlog showing what's going on. Saturday another quick vlog, and Sunday, and then Monday it was me with Kat, and chatting about what was going on. And then I did another vlog on Tuesday where we're driving back, and then Wednesday that was a debrief. So basically, like, Wednesday to Wednesday was all about UK Games Expo, as well it might be, because UK Games Expo is for me the biggest convention of the year. I understand that Essen is much bigger, like 10 times the size, if not more, but UK Games Expo, because I'm UK based, because I'm able to get a place, because I'm able to ask people to help me out, um, it's possible for me to run a really great event and have some great stuff going on. Frankly, at Essen this year, I'm not even. I did some unboxing of stuff. I've still not played Micro Macro. I really should. You cannot do everything, and that's okay. Just like remember these things about yourself. What was this? The most important thing about board games is that the rules are absorbed. Yeah, that's true. Like, how does it happen? Maybe you make sure that the rules are simple. Make sure that maybe it's all about how you tell the rules, about the way that you lay out the rules in the rule book. That's the important thing, that the rules are absorbed. I did do a bunch of unboxing of some Alley Cats games. That was nice. Yeah, you don't have to do everything. Ask for help. I will need to ask for help for mentor. Chloe Masheter gave me some advice before I went to the smoke. Discussing UK Games Expo again with Alan Paul, a week later after it had happened, but that was still the forefront of our mind. Would I want to learn any skill instantly? This was in response to a question from someone, and yeah, I Yeah, I mean, the truth is, yes, I would want to learn some skills instantly, but then it's kind of comes down to the difference between play and work. But certainly with design, I would want to, yeah, enjoy that. I went to the smoke. That was such a fantastic experience. I ran my own LARP. It went well. I'm excited to say that. And if I can get Dave to confirm that I will be able to run my own LARP at their event, then I will rewrite it. The smoke was fantastic. I went to the Inside the Box office. That was 1 month ago, and I'm going back there again on this Tuesday. And that was a great meeting. I think it's really valuable to be in person, to have those real discussions. It talks about online sales and pledge managers. I need to sort out my shop this weekend. Is art important? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But speaking to Tanya Thompson yesterday was like, in your prototype, give an idea of, is it meant to be cuddly, whimsical, cute, have an adventurous story, or is it meant to be dark? Give that idea, but you don't need to be perfect with your art. Be weird, be yourself, dare to be different. I like the fact that these taglines remind me and have little messages for my future self. Thank you, past self. Yeah, Tessa Collective. Those are some games that I would like to play a lot more of. I played Ice Hospital. That was fun. Maybe I should do some more solo plays. Yeah, I do enjoy having these solo shows, I must admit, where sometimes I talk about a thing, sometimes I play a game, and sometimes I'm pondering mechanics. This is a new series that I started. Pondering acting. What's that all about? What's going on? What could we do with acting? For a mass markets game, I think fundamentally you want one meaningful change, no more and no less. Like, the meaningful change might be to do with the packaging or the rules or whatever. I talked about the LDEC contest, action drafting. Why No Thanks is a brilliant game, because it absolutely is. I had anxiety. I was planning to go to an event and I didn't quite make it, which was sad times. Discussing Croydon's first playfest with Pearl Ho, who actually managed to go there. So that was my time to get Pearl back on. And pondering mechanics, meeting Ben Downton, where we chatted through everything. Jessica met drinking again and having them on. It's always a delight. The action queue, where in the action queue you select things and then you put them in a certain order and then it works in that certain order. That is a really interesting way to play games. I was making a roll and move game. That was just 2 weeks ago, and it's turned out well. I'm quite excited about that. I talked about generally how my game design is going. Is a specific player count an accessibility issue? Yeah, it is, but you don't need to sort out every single accessibility issue. Let's avoid being all consumed by your stuff, by your passion, by your creativity. It's great to be excited by your creativity, but let's not be all consumed by it. Talks about Seize the Power. I did some playtesting with Tis Creole. I had like another playtest. It feels like it works well. Might want to make some changes. Pondering Mechanics, Action Retrieval with Alan Paul, talking about March of Progress as well as other things. Meeting Phil Vizcarro, who I might be partnering with for Creator. Sometimes try a crazy idea. I think that's some important thing, to allow yourself the freedom to sometimes just try these things. I did a solo playtest of Solar Storm, so I only had 2 solo tests a month in the month. I'd probably like to increase that to 3 or 4. Like, do some more solo gaming, go through some more things, pondering some more mechanics, action timers. Oh, that should be action timers. I'll edit that after the stream. What is Cosmoduck? With Phil Vizcarro, we just talked about this. I don't normally allow people to just come on and talk about their company, but if you are embarking upon a partnership, then I might make an exception for you. What am I backing on Kickstarter and why? This was, inspired by Board Game Book, and I think that's, it's a fantastic book, and I wanted to give a shout out to it. And so I decided to talk about all the Kickstarters I'm backing, and then also have a little look through the other stuff on Kickstarter. What are we up to with Jess Medringham? What's a good interview? On Thursday, when I was going to Bristol, and then of course yesterday, so many amazing guests when we talked about what is efficiency. And it feels like efficiency is fundamentally getting more of the thing you want with less of the thing you don't want. So maybe the thing you don't want is spending money and spending time and spending energy and other stuff. And maybe the thing that you do want is money or games made or maximizing fun. So you have to work out what you want and what you don't want in order to work out what is efficiency. But yeah, like all of these amazing guests like Rita Model, over there, Jess Medringham, Rita Model, Liz Davidson, Tonya Pobeda, Josie Finch, Chloe Mashter, Tanya Thompson, Ree Saunders, Kathleen Mercury, T. Cares, Rose Atkinson, Timia Farkas, Julia Schiller, and Nikki Valens. And all of these people were so fantastic at joining in, and it was just lovely seeing everyone chatting away and being part of it. And I think that what would I do differently? Well, I think I would probably try to have everyone coming on half an hour apart, and potentially try and have everyone like if I actually, it feels like we had 14 people over 8 hours, and I don't think I could have had many more. Like if we'd had 16, would that have been okay? Would half an hour have been fine for people? Maybe. And then if I want to have 3 people on, that means that I need to ask people to be on for an hour and a half, which feels like quite a bit. But it was really nice when for a while it was like just coming through when, it was the 4 of us. For a while it was Tonya and Tanya and Josie, and that was a nice relaxed conversation. But I think that I need to work out probably 3 is the 3 feels like the right number, because even though it doesn't look as nice on the screen, because there's Liz all on their own, I think that yeah, 3 is a good number and you get good conversations, but 4 is also good. More would be too many for sure. And hello, Josie. I was just doing the mega recap, and I have basically just finished recapping the last 100 episodes. Um, as I look through all of them, I think, okay, wow, so I did streams about 3 different exhibitions. So Daicini, the Smoke, oh no, 4. Wow, in the past month, in the past 3 months. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Now there was like, yeah, I mean, UK Games Expo was the big thing, but then also Daicini, where I saw Josie and um, yeah, UK Games Expo and Herefordshire Board Gamers. Where's that? I missed it. There we go. Sunday at the Herefordshire Board Games. I really enjoyed the Herefordshire Board Gamers event. I would absolutely go again if they would have me and do all the same things again. I can't get over how much I enjoyed that because Adam and Elaine are just lovely people and I really appreciate what they're trying to do. So yes, I had 2 playthroughs of games, Solar Storm and Dice Hospital Emergency Roll. I had about 4 live drawings. I had a bunch of, I'm not going to enumerate it all, maybe I will for my next, for episode 801. I'll maybe be a wee bit more prepared and actually count some numbers. I had a bunch of guests. I had a bunch of solo episodes. I enjoy my new episode of Pondering Mechanics. I mean, that's going to go on for, like, there's hundreds more of them to do. Hopefully I'll finish that before I get to episode 1100. And Josie asks, what have been my favourite moments? My favourite moments, I mean, I'm not just saying this because you were on, but my favourite moments were, like, here when there was you, when there was Josie and Tonya and Tanya on stream, and also here where it was me with Chloe and Ree and Tamea, and we had a bit of time, and earlier on where it was me and Jess and Julia and Kathleen having that sort of conversation. I do really enjoy that, and I wonder if I should do more of those because, yeah, looking through, I've not had more than one person on for a long, long time. I mean, if I scroll backwards, like exclude like Ree and Laurie, that's okay. I've not had more than 2 cameras. Let's put it that way. And scrolling back, it's been a long time. I mean, okay, the last one was 537, where I had Rob Fisher and Adam Porter. And that was a good show and I enjoyed it. And why don't I do more of that? Mainly because it's a pain to set up. That's the truth. Would I like to do more of that? We had a chat about digital pricing with, who's that? Matthew Dunstan, Rory Muldoon, and Yoda. Yeah, that was a good show. And I would love to do more things where it's, hey, since in the entire episode 400s, I only did one, and in all the episode 500s, I only did one. So, yeah, I might do another thing. Josie says, I thoroughly enjoyed the flow of conversations with different people, different perspectives, and specialisms. Yeah, I would like to know, like, when I go to conventions, I actually really enjoy these short walkarounds. And it's not too much effort. And where's the UK Games Expo ones? Because those were really fun. And when UK Games Expo, I had an amazing team. And yeah, Saturday, I was just kind of at the stand showing off, hey, this is me, and I'm going to stop streaming in 5 minutes. But conversely, Sunday, I actually had a wander around. And I interviewed like 5 different people just wandering around and saying hello, because people kind of know me. And then it was like, yeah, of course I want to be on a stream when I'm not actually selling stuff. So I really enjoyed that Sunday, and thank you everyone for keeping my stand going, even when I'm taking, like, how long was that? That felt like, okay, it was 18 minutes, so I was probably back at the stands definitely within 20 minutes. But I was focusing on all of the um, interviews with people, and I wasn't there all the time. I wasn't like them, and it was great because of everyone who was helping me. I need to go to the bank and sort out things. I need to message everyone to ask for the bank details or PayPal details to sort out everyone with money. But and I do apologise for taking a bit long over that. I I enjoy drawing. I enjoy having people on. I enjoy doing these streams. And would I carry on? Yes, absolutely. What I'm looking at is, yeah, I've enjoyed it. And maybe I will try and work harder to be even faster as time goes on. Like, I try to be faster. And this was 822, episode 600. How long was it? Episode 600 was 816. Ooh, 6 minutes more. That's not good. I'm trying to get episode 800. I want it to be under 8 hours. And so maybe that means that I need to get the last person to come in at hour 5.5. And even if someone amazing wants to come in hour 7, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, but no. Josie says, I think it also gave you time to chat rather than just being the interviewer. Do you mean like do you mean on episode 700? Like, it gave me time to chat with, like, I'm slightly sorry I didn't see this in time. What's the context for this? Josie says, you had an experienced enough team at UK Games Expo for you to not need to be there all the time. Yes, 100%. Johan is fantastic. Johan has been there loads of times. And obviously, Josie, you know all my games well. You do currently know all my published games. Yes, that is a true thing to say. You soon won't, but and yes, by having multiple people at the same time, yes, that's absolutely true. And I didn't get to every single question that I ideally wanted to ask everyone, but if I had asked everyone exactly the same questions, I think that would have been boring. Saying, oh, what is something that you stopped doing in life? Like, I asked a good bunch of people that, but not everyone. And the key things that mattered were, what's an efficient game and what should Bez do more efficiently? And I think it's good to have a couple of questions that everyone gets asked, and to have some questions that are unique to that person, and talking to Liz about researching the person, but then doing a bit of improvisation, not having a list of questions. I kind of wrote those questions that you saw on Twitter. I wrote them all that morning, and then scheduled that all on TweetDeck like about 8 or 9 a.m. It was done very close to when I was actually about to go live. And yeah, I think there's something nice about having, okay, Josie, we're going to talk about careers, and okay, Liz, we're going to talk about reviewing, and we might be talking about other things, but we'll at least touch upon this. And if someone's tuned in to have like a half-hour conversation about reviewing or interviews, they will be slightly disappointed, but hopefully they had a good time. I'm curious how. So, and like, it is a ridiculously long thing. Why do I do these things? Like, that's important to take a step back and sometimes think about. Because it's fun, because I connect with people, because I continue learning. Every time that I do one of these shows, like, if I look back, yeah, what's a good interview? Sure, all of that information came from me, but it was a chance for me to think through my own thoughts. Jess Medringham, it's just a way to connect with people, connect with a lovely person. And I'm going to talk to Jess and Alan about trying to maybe shorten those shows. Yeah, what am I backing on Kickstarter? I learned about other things on Kickstarter after I talked about the things that I was already backing. Then I looked through all the games and I skimmed them all, and then I explored them live on camera. and that was nice to see. Where yeah, Alex also chipped in a couple of points, and we had a laugh about a couple of things. Um, Learning about the person that I might be working with. I don't think it's any secret to say that Creator, as it's now, that is the new name for a game about cute comical creatures and trying to identify them off from its noises. It will probably be coming out in a French edition before the end of the year. Now, Cosmodoc have a very generous contract where basically, if I get a better contract from any other publisher, they will give me the rights back. They are really just trying to help designers. It's amazing what they're doing. Like when I talk about mechanics, like I look up the things and I learnt about the different games, and this is a chance for me to learn, and then I share that knowledge with you. So hopefully I understand it, and I learn about the game that I'm playing. I play through, and then at the end, I have to admit, Solar Storm, I did play it slightly wrongly, but then I learned the rules correctly, and I've beaten it on the hardest settings. So I'm like, yeah, that's me done with this game. And I have to admit, I don't solo games very much. But yeah, I learn, I connect with people, I have fun playing things. It gives me a sense of something routine in my life. Like I want a little bit of routine. Because the truth is, I could say, oh yes, I'm going to go outside, and I wanted to go outside and have a wander and then come back in. But the truth is, if I was not doing this, I would still be lying on my bed now. I would be snoozing, I might be on social media, or I wouldn't have gotten outside. Like my plans for today, I'm having a day off, I'd be going to a barbecue, I might be totally remaking a prototype, which will be taking me about an hour. I want to make it quite nicely. I want to make it like not final art, but the one step before the final art. This is going to be the penultimate version of a game about selecting 7 cards, speedily searching for synergies to see, okay, the game's done, I think. The numbers are basically done. You know, they might still be tweaked, one or up or one down. But, okay, my idea of having less color in the pictures and then using only black for things that are the icons and then using bits of color here, does that all work? Like, it's not going to be the final art, but the colors are going to be broadly where they want to be. And then at the barbecue, I've been given permission to bring the prototype over to get to play it a few times, and we will also play some longer games. Maybe Root, maybe Oath, I don't know, maybe something that isn't designed by Cole Verley and Leader Games. And yeah, it gives me a routine. It helps me learn. And it allows me to connect with people like yourselves, anyone watching. I love having the chat. I love having guests on. And I've gotten into a good routine when it's like, hey, you seem interesting. Would you like to come onto my show? Just check these numbers. And yeah, Teen Luhu, you know, they're from Vietnam. They've got a Kickstarter now that's got like thousands of backers. Well, it was up to 900 and something last I checked. It's probably 1,000. And sure, they're coming on partially to promote their Kickstarter, but I would rather have someone come on and talk about themselves than talk about their game. In a sense, they are both equally self-promotional. And as a designer, I would rather go on and talk about myself and mention a couple of my games rather than go off and talk about one game. Because if I talk about that one game, then people learn about that one game. But if I talk about my principles and how I love experimentation and how I'm really all about the financial accessibility, and for a game about selecting 7 cards, speedily searching for synergies, if you can't afford like the £8 within UK to get it to you, I will send it to you for like £3 as a community copy. Like that's limited to, I don't know how many, like 5 people. I'm going to say 5 people. It's limited to 5 people. And I will charge you just the postage. You know what? I'll send it to you for £2. That's basically giving you a free copy. I'm just charging a wee bit to cover the posts and packaging, because I think this is really important. And hopefully people that can afford the £8 or whatever, or then they won't go for that option. And I'm trusting people somewhat. And if someone else wants to donate a copy, then, great. Josie says, I found people are often more comfortable speaking about their products or their work or their passion rather than about themselves. Sure, but as an interviewer, I am more interested in, frankly, look, if Tanya Thompson wanted to come on and talk about the escape rooms for Clue, I am sure that I could arrange that interview. I am sure that it might even be, I might get some exclusive information. I'm sure that I would get a lot of viewers, because I had a lot of viewers, surprisingly, for the London Toy Fair, where people are like, oh, could you show this one thing? I'm really excited to see this toy. Could you show this? But I don't want to be basically just marketing this one thing. If I'm going into this one thing, I want it to be a critique. The only way that I would show off one single project is either if it's something to do with me, frankly, yes, I'm a biased. Yes, I'm going to talk about Seize the Power, or a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after makes noises, or I'll talk about Cosmo Duck because I am working with them, or I might talk about Hachette UK if they get the license for Yogi, which really, really bothers me that I'm not going to go into that. There's a whole thing. I guess I am going to go into that. Yes, I am allowed to say this. VR distribution bought a number of copies. It is branded VR distribution on the packaging, and until that's sold out, Hachette UK can't get the license. But I kind of feel like the game is good enough that I just want them to buy it and then sell that so that they can plow through and have the license, because they're not selling very many copies of. Yeah. Yogi is a great game, and I think it deserves better than it's currently getting. That's But yes, Josie agrees. When interviewing, it's more interesting to find out about that person, and also looking forward to playing Seize the Power. I'm glad to hear. And the other way that I could imagine focusing on another game is maybe I'm playing it. Sure, there might be some bias. So, Solar Storm, I'm not going to be too harsh on it. Anything from Alley Cat Games, I'm not going to be too harsh on it. Anything from Inside the Box, I'm not going to be too harsh on it, because I have these vested interests in these companies that I kind of work with them. Frankly, I try not to be super harsh, but I might be more harsh with Rick and Morty Total Recall. Like, I might get back into doing a whole bunch of reviews. Yeah, I've not done reviews for quite a bit. I might ask, would you like to see me doing more playthroughs? Cosmo, I might get some Mayscape games that Cosmo Games UK have offered me, which is really lovely of them. And yeah, the other way that I could imagine doing one game is either I'm critiquing it or I'm playing through it, or in the vein of critiquing it, it's about, okay, let's have the designer on to talk about why they did these things. And that would be hopefully a challenging conversation. I don't want it to be a rah, 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 this game is awesome, this game is the best thing ever, here's how I did this, here's why you should buy this game. That's not what I want to do on my channel. Could you play with other people on stream and then get varied opinions on that game? Yeah, I guess I could. I mean, that's kind of what we did with Testable. That feels, again, harder to organize. I used to do this a lot. Like, I used to play streams at, I think for a while it was 7 p.m. UK time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then eventually when lockdown eased down and people stopped coming, and I was like, yeah, why am I doing this? I would rather go off and see other people. Let's stop doing that. And if it's in person, then that's a bit much. And you know what? If someone wants to play something on Board Game Arena, I might be up for that. Like, as a case of learning that game, but also at the same time, yeah, I would in principle be up for that as a very occasional thing. And yeah, maybe when I go to Thailand, like I'll have to definitely reconsider what I'm doing with this stream. Um, yeah, what's going on with it? Do I do stuff in the morning over there? Do I do stuff occasionally in the afternoon? Do I do stuff like maybe on more of a weekly schedule? Because if I'm doing stuff in Thailand, I think I'd want it to be more. Um, how can I put this? It has to fit my schedule. That has to be the number one thing. And I'm just going to say this: 9 a.m. Thailand is, I believe, a ridiculous time now in Bangkok. It is for, yeah, I'm struggling. It's GMT -7, so GMT -8 in, so 9 a.m. or +8. So 9 a.m. would be 1 a.m. Okay. So it's like 1 or 2 a.m. GMT, or it's really late at night US. So actually 9 a.m., 10 a.m. time would be frankly terrible for all my European friends, and that's sad to say. But maybe it will be great for the US friends. And I was always getting more US-based folk joining me, and yeah, potentially I could actually see myself continuing, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it at 5 p.m. Thai time. It has to work for me. Now, yeah, it will be a seismic shift. Would I still call it BBBB? Because then I could call it Busy Beats and Bangkok Blether and just talk about Bangkok rather than necessarily about board games. Although there would be Busy Bangkok-based Blether. I know you're not going to get up at 1 a.m. Yeah, you can just look at the still shots. Oh, that's what Bez is up to, and maybe once in a while the title will be interesting enough. You know what? I might do some small concession, try to line it up. I might try to go back to lining it up the week. I'm not going to make any promises. That's more than a year away. But the past 100 episodes, they were good. I enjoyed them. Will I change things? Yes, I will. I'll continue trying to get shorter, and I'll continue making tweaks. I would love to hear what you have to say, and that brings me to question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. Question of the day. So my question is, what would you like to see more of? And potentially, what would you like to see less of? But yeah, would you like to see more music? I've not done music for ages. Would you like to see more me playing the keyboard and singing? Maybe singing songs once every couple of weeks. I feel like I've already got a fortnightly schedule with Alan and Jess, so maybe I should just lean into that. And rather than saying, okay, I've got a schedule for every week, maybe this is a schedule for every fortnight. And sure, Wednesdays are quite similar, Fridays are quite similar, but maybe it'll alternate between two different things. I don't know. But yeah, what would you like to see more music? Would you like to see more me drawing stuff? Would you like to see more of me talking about my games and talking about the history behind my own games? Would you like to see more of me kind of doing work while on stream, and you see how I spreadsheet stuff and how I go through the process of design and drawing a bunch of 50 cards? Would you have liked me to see me making the prototype that I'm about to make for this afternoon? Would you like to see more of the playthroughs where I'm playing more solo games? I don't actually have that many solo games, to be honest. But yeah, would you like to see more of that? Would you like to see more of yeah, what's the other thing would you like to see more reviews? Josie says, I don't think I've ever seen you playing and singing. You've never seen me playing the keyboard and singing. Oh, that's a shame. Maybe I should do that, like once every 2 weeks. Like, I like the idea once every 2 weeks. Musical Monday, and what else rhymes with M? What else starts with M? So 1 week is Musical Monday. 1 week is, but I do also like the idea of just having things being like, yeah, Monday is a musical Monday, unless I have a guest, and if I've got a guest that I'm excited to have on, that always takes kind of precedent. Josie says, I'd be interested in your design process. So just kind of showing it off and talking through a bit. Okay, so those are the 2 votes from you. Does anyone else have any votes for what you would like to see more from me? And other than that, over to you. What are you up to? You can share bottom if you want to. What are you up to today? Is there anything you want to share? I promise that I care. I have a squeaky chair, and I've got slightly fuzzy hair. Now, whether it's something that you have to do or something that you need to do, I am interested. And I mean, have to do is a strong word. It would be financially beneficial for me to put up those games into my shop, to put up a couple of bits of original art into my shop. That would be good. And yeah, what else? I feel like it would be health-wise beneficial for me to have a bit of a, actually I have to get my bike oiled. I have to go and get some oil for the bike, and also have to do some work at the bank, but I'm not sure, but I might allow myself to do it on Monday. But I get to go to a barbecue, and I get to play games, and I get to make prototype that will get played. Oh, you've also been invited to a barbecue. When's the assignment due for? Can you do both? I mean, as long as you write the assignments eventually, I mean, the barbecue, it's time critical. Like, if you don't go there now, then it's not there. So, like, I would go to the barbecue for a bit, at least, right? Also, Josie wants to have playthroughs, maybe with the designer. Yeah, I'm trying to think which designers that would work for, because again, if it's on, I guess it probably wants to be on Board Game Geek to make it a bit easier. Yeah, I did. I mean, I really enjoyed when I was on Matthew's stream with Matthew and Rory Muldoon, and yeah, playing Aquanauts. That was good fun. But I would almost rather have something where it's not on Kickstarter. Yeah, definitely something where it's been a few years and I can say, oh, why did you do this? And the thing, like, Dice Hospital kind of comes to my head, could do with Mike. Potentially on a weekend, Mike might be up for that. But then I also think it would be interesting to do Dice Hospital with Stan, potentially. And Abandon All Artichokes with Emma Larkins, that would be really cool. And when I think about it, a lot of the designers, I think if that were a regular thing, that would be something that I could do potentially in the morning, Bangkok time, very late US time. Like if I got up really early, like not super, I'm just thinking like 8? Is that too early for me? Like, because then that would be like 10 p.m. US time, which is not totally unreasonable, and it's also no, if we're saying it's 1 a.m. UK -5 for that's 8 p.m. US, that's already reasonable. So yeah, maybe it'll be something for when I move to Thailand. But if you can suggest some European designers that might work for, then, because yeah, this is bad. I'm struggling to think of European designers where that would actually work, because I want a Board Game Arena implementation just to make it work. Also, Josie says the assignment's overdue. Work's been full on. How long will the assignment take? Can you do the assignment tomorrow? Can you do like maybe 2 hours, 4 hours or 3 hours of it today. Go to the barbecue at 2 p.m. Then enjoy the rest of the night. But do like at least 2 hours of the assignment today and then finish it tomorrow. Is that possible? I feel like that seems like a reasonable way to go. Recap and wrap up before we finish up. So today, what did I do? Today, I looked at all the past episodes, had a lot of good times, people, drawing, conventions, thinking about conventions, regular chats with Jess and Alan, which is going to continue into the distant future, at least for a year. And of course, yesterday was just so much fun. And then I thought about what I might change, might do more music potentially, might do more playthroughs. And Josie votes for more things about my design process, which if I'm struggling to get something done, then I'll just be like, okay, let's hash this out on camera. It was a good show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for whether this is the first show of mine that you've ever watched, or whether you're someone who's been here since episode 1. And yeah, that would literally only be one person who I don't think is here. But however long you've been watching, it has been a delight, and I'm glad that I started this. And shout out goes to Heather. Thanks, Heather, for encouraging me to do this daily morning stream. If you want to check me out, I am Stuff by Bez in all the places. stuffbybez.com/streams will tell you about my future streams. Tomorrow I'm chatting to Teen Lahoo, going to have an interview with them. Monday, you know what? Maybe I'll do a musical Monday. Maybe I won't. Or maybe I'll, yeah. I feel like I should probably work out what I'm doing like 1 week ahead. That would be good. And then Tuesday's a short solo show. Wednesday, just to catch up with Alan Paul, meeting Sally Walker on Thursday. Friday, I'll have a quick 5-minute thing. Oh, next Saturday, I'm meeting Nell from Shuffle and Roll. I'm excited by that. These are some Scottish people who are doing game rentals. Thank you, everyone. Please share, spread the word. It's been a delight. Lots of love. And the only thing left to say is, as always, bye, 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 bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, bye. You know what? Actually, Monday, I'm going to do, moving forwards, what will I change? That will be what the Monday episode is about. So yes, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye.